I drilled Deontay enough with jab defense drills enough that we'll be more than ready to handle anything Joseph Parker is going to come at us with. Uh, Also, Joseph Parker, in my opinion, has slowed down a lot. He doesn't have the same speed he once had. You all can see that in the Joe Joyce fight. You all can see that in the Simon Keene fight, his last recent fight, that he looked very good in. Um, he slowed down. He's not the same Joseph Parker that fought Anthony Joshua. He's not the same Joseph Parker that fought Andy Ruiz. But what Deontay is, he's the same decapitator that he has always been. And I believe the way we drill now and the way I hold him accountable and how he's willing to do everything behind his front knee is going to be not just the key to victory with Joseph Parker, but it's going to be a key to victory to make him become two-time heavyweight champion of the world again. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the fight. And we're going to do it big, man. We're going to do it big. We're going to give Saudi Arabia a real treat. They never had nothing like this, what they're about to see with Deontay. They never had a result like this so far in the heavyweight division. And what I mean by that is they had Usyk and Joshua, right? Some people would say, that was a good fight, but boxer versus puncher. They had Fury versus Ngannou. We all know what people thought of that fight and who people thought who won. What they never had was a real hitter like Deontay Wilder that come to send his opponents to the next dimension. And what I mean by that is cold knockouts. And Joseph Parker is the first one, is the second one on our mission concern going after this title for the second time, become two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And I believe we're going to make good work of him, real good work.
For everyone wondering and who's watching this, we see Deontay's explosive workouts, his explosive power. You're the one holding the mitts. You've even faced him in the ring back in the day.
Yeah.
Please describe Deontay's power, what it feels like, what you feel like waking up the next morning after a workout.
Well, I've been told by my doctor that I'm gonna need reconstructive shoulder concerning my right shoulder, which means that's Deontay's right hand, considering all the other fighters that I trained at. I get good pad work too. But Deontay, he puts the cherry on top, and this happened during in the middle of the Fury 3 camp. I mean, the man, like, bro, it's God-given power, and it doesn't matter the distance. He could knock these guys out long range, or he could do them how he did Helene at short range, or how he did Arthur Spilker short range. It doesn't matter. The thing that really matters is his patience. The thing that really matters is him staying responsible behind his front knee on letting these guys reach for him. And when they reach, making them pay deadly. And I believe this is a system that he believes in now more than ever. And I'm looking forward to him executing this type of system a whole lot more, especially in the second half of his career, because fighting behind your front knee and fighting with your lead hand high, depending on the circumstances of the height of your opponent, it saves you years, not just in your boxing career, but in life. It saves you less punishment. And I'm, like I said earlier, like Deontay is looking good in sparring. My last sparring session was, I believe, yesterday or the day before. 10, 11 good rounds, something like that. 17 rounds total. By the time I do pads with him, House works with him on reflexes. He's giving us almost 20 rounds a day. And we're not boxing. We're doing good floor work. We're doing good strength and conditioning stuff with Coach Joey Scott, Olympic training coach. So, it's a short camp, which means it's going to be short work for Joseph Parker. So really, I'm looking forward to it. I believe, more than anybody, because what I see this dude do every day in the gym and what I've been witnessing him do every day in the gym, I love when he get under the lights and put my words on physical display. And that's what I'm looking forward to him doing in Saudi Arabia. He putting my words and my teaching and all of his hard work on physical display.
It's confident. You think it's going to be a short night? What round are you thinking?
I wouldn't say a round. I would say, I wouldn't say a round. I would say It's tough, man, because if these guys want to move Deontay, he'll chalk him down responsibly behind his front knee. I keep saying that. If they come forward, they're taking the chance. And when they take that chance, we'll make them pay. And that's Joseph Parker as well. Joseph Parker like to hop in a lot with his feet because he come from the Roy Jones um, kind of idol worshiping a little bit. He comes from the Roy Jones. Like Roy Jones was a huge physical impact on Joseph Parker's career. If you look at a young Joseph Parker, a lot of his stuff came from left hip offense. What I mean by that is a lot of his offense came from him keeping his left hand down at his left hip, hopping in with hooks, hopping in with combinations. You notice I keep saying the word hopping in. The last person that hopped in against Deontay Wilder, they end up comatose. So we'll see. Either way, he's fucked though. That's what my real point. What I'm really trying to say, if he try to move and run, Deontay handle him accordingly. And if he want to be spunky and listen to the Tyson Furies of the world and let him tell him that all you got to do is come to Deontay and push him back, then I can almost guarantee you he'll run into something that he's never felt before.
You think how about the other headliner in this fight, Anthony Joshua? You think he's gonna have an easy night with Otto Wallin as well, or do you think we might see an upset there?
I think an upset is very possible, but I think Joshua knows. It's tough to say because it's a lot of decision making in there that many won't agree with. I'm probably a part of the many. I don't see how you could lose to Alexander Usyk 2 times, who's a crafty southpaw, and then one of your next fights, you willing to fight Otto Wallin, who can be considered another crafty southpaw or a poor man Usyk, so to speak. So we'll just have to see, man. It's a tough. On paper and stylistically, it come across as tough. But I also believe Otto Wallin never fought no one like Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised whichever way it go. And that's what's exciting about this whole card is because everybody is, you can say, beatable on paper. Everybody is, taking a chance on paper. But the most dangerous man on the planet is who I train, and we know what he's coming to do. And what he's coming to do is send Joseph Parker off to the next dimension. And I'm gonna orchestrate the shit.
Where
So we'll see.
With Otto Wallin, of course, he gave Tyson Fury a hell of a fight. Gave him that nasty gash in the middle of the Wilder Fury trilogy. And with that said, though, do you think Deontay is going to steal the show? I mean, this is going to be an all heavyweight attraction. Do you think you guys are going to be the one everyone is talking about at the end of the night?
Absolutely. Deontay is the show. He is the show. Because if you think about it, everyone is questioning whether AJ is going to even beat Otto Wallin. People is questioning, well, Joseph Parker may or may not give Deontay problems, but if he get caught, so everyone knows lights out. And all the other warriors that's on the card, there's some good fights, but to me, none of them is bringing what Deontay bring to the table, and that's pure electrifying entertainment. And it's already his show. I'm not concerned with who's the main event because that's not my thing. I know who everyone is coming to see. I know who the show is based around. I know what type of plans we have going into this fight. And we're not looking past Joseph Parker. We're looking through him. We know he's somebody that is very, very legitimate to deal with. But I believe Deontay and myself is going to handle him accordingly. Don't forget, this is someone that I have over 5 or 6, 7 training camps with. This is someone that I boxed tons and tons of time. Talk about Joseph Parker. I know him very, very well. And before a boxer, he's one of the best human beings you'll ever meet. I can't say that about a lot of people, like, you know what I mean, especially fighters. Joseph Parker is a different type of person. I know that have nothing to do with boxing to most reporters or to most even fighters or to most casuals, but that character matters to me. And when it comes to characteristic, Joseph Parker has more heart and is more of a warrior and has a resume that is almost just as worthy as anyone on the card, including the champions or past champions or whatever. This is his first time fighting someone that is considered the hardest puncher in the history of the sport and the most dynamic in the history of the sport, which is Deontay. So we're going to see how he handle it. We're going to see how he handle it. I've seen Deontay box fast guys. I've seen him knock out fast guys. I've seen him knock out people that never been knocked out before. I've seen him knock people out cold that's only been stopped before. So there's a lot of questions there for Joseph Parker, but it's not that many questions there for Deontay Wilder. All Deontay have to do is stay packaged up, stay defensively responsible, keep his chin behind his front knee, and let the fight come to him. And what I mean by let the fight come to him, like, it doesn't mean physically let the fight come to him, like just wait for Joseph Parker to come to him. I mean, just have patience. Like, you know what I mean? We all know what Deontay carry, and he carry a missile. And he's been blessed enough to know how to land that missile, even on people that know that it's coming. It's equivalent to Michael Jordan on the last shot in his Chicago Bulls days. They know that he's going to take the last shot. But I believe when you're extremely gifted and confident and responsible, it's nothing no one can do to stop what they even know you're going to do. And this, to me, is the difference between good and great. Great fighters are great athletes. They get the job done regardless if you know what they're going to do or not. And I always am testing Deontay when he's sparring guys, because some trainers, they may believe in not, I believe in the language of boxing. Some trainers don't believe in yelling instructions to their fighters while their fighters are sparring, because their sparring partners may hear it and then they may not be able to get it off. But I yell my instructions to Deontay and I say loud. I don't care if he know that I'm saying it. I don't care if he know you're going to throw it. Still do what I'm asking, because I believe that it's something about gifted athletes, and it's something about special fighters or special athletes that even when people know what they're going to do, they have a tweak about them, they have a speed about them, they have a confidence about them that they're still just able to do it without it being stopped. And history has proven that, because how many fighters knew Deontay had a big right hand? I'm talking about elite fighters, fighters that's not that good, fighters that was okay. How many of them was really was able to stop it? Even the person that beat him, Fury, wasn't able to stop the right hand. He was able to get up from it and then continue on fighting. But it's crazy. Like, when you think about it, like, just, they know Steph Curry is going to take the shot. They can't stop it. They knew Michael was going to take the last shot. They couldn't stop it. And I'm predicting that they're training for Deontay Wilder's right hand come December 23rd. And I'm saying that now that they won't be able to stop it. They're going to have to bring something new to the table. And we're on Joseph Parker's second half of his career. This is not a fresh Joseph Parker. He's rejuvenated, but he's not fresh. And you could be rejuvenated all you want in this boxing, but Father Time is undefeated. The wear and tear matters. He was in tough fight with Joe Joyce. He's been in tough fight with Angel Ruiz. He's been in two tough fights with Derek Chisora. He's had his miles, and I believe it's going to play a part. It definitely is going to play a part, because everything matters in this game. Everything. The smallest details matter in this game. And I will forever be a spokesman for the details. And because I just know it matters. The shit matters, man. It matters.
Mm-hmm. And, with Deontay, he hasn't fought since last October. Joseph Parker actually fought on the Tyson Fury undercard in Saudi Arabia. So he's kind of getting straight back into fight mode.
Yeah, he's active. He's active,
yeah.
and he's active. He's in shape. He's actively in shape. And what I mean by that, like, he's not like active to where he's getting ready to go into a training camp. No, he's fight active. So that's something that plays to his side too. I mean, he's been Joseph Parker is no joke, man. This is just a very, very, very serious fight. A very serious fight. Concerning time wise, and concerning where Deontay and Joseph Parker is at, and they both of their careers, to me, it's the most important fight in their careers as of to date right now. So we can't take him lightly at all, and that's why we're not taking him lightly at all.
Are you guys taking extra pleasure, perhaps, by beating Parker because he's Tyson Fury's stablemate and his close confidant as well? Is that in the back of your mind, like, you guys got to get one on Team Fury?
Not really. And I think that's because Joseph, like, everyone that knows Joseph Parker, like, yeah, he's with Team Fury, but I separate his characteristic and the person that he is from all of that nonsense. We're fighting Joseph Parker. Yeah, he's a part of Team Fury. And, and if I'm going to be quite frank about it, I'm very happy what that side has been able to do for him. And he's got a new trainer, which to me his trainer before, Kevin Barry, is one of the best trainers of all time anyway, but he got a new trainer, which is a good thing for him. All of us fighters, we like to make the best move that's best for our career concerning switching trainers. And the good thing that he did is he didn't go from a great trainer to a okay trainer. He went from a great trainer to another great trainer, which is Andy Lee, who comes from the Kronk system. And we all know how good Andy Lee was as a fighter, and we know how detailed and great of a coach he is. And even on that side, you have Tyson Furies, and you have the Sugar Hills, and you have so many other good inspirations that I'm sure are pulling for him to win. But on our side, we have the most dangerous man in the history of the sport with one of the best boxing minds concerning myself, not just in boxing, but in combat sports in general. And we have one of the best strength trainers. So both sides, considering Joey Scott, our strength trainer, and but both sides, we have our inspirations, but we real tight knit over here. We're very confident. We know what's on the table. And we know how tough Joseph Parker is, man. He's a very, very, very tough guy. Usually guys that box as good as he do, they aren't really that tough. Joseph Parker is a good boxer and can be a good counterpuncher at times, but his heart and his courage-wise, he's really, really a real warrior, at heart. So that could play to our part as well, because sometimes you could be too much of a warrior and run into a missile because you're just so tough and bad. So it's a real good fight. It should be taken very serious by the general public. It should be taken very serious by boxing media. Is being taken more than serious. I'm taking this just as serious as I took a Fury fight or a Helenius fight. Joseph Parker, to me, is a more important fight than all of them right now, because it's not a gimme fight. And then after this, after we handle Parker, we could talk other opponents and, possible other matchups that's, been on the radar. But Joseph Parker have to be handled because he's a very serious opponent.
Mm-hmm. Is the handshake agreement that Wilder and Joshua are next? Is that what everyone is planning for?
Wilder and Joshua are at the closest time of happening than has ever been before. I'll say that. But they both got to handle their business come December 23rd. And not just handle it, too. They both have to look extremely, extremely good in grand fashion, to get what they want, which is each other in the ring.
Absolutely. And we're obviously aware of what Deontay brings. We're actually talking around the 5-year anniversary of Wilder Fury 1 that started one of the greatest trilogies in heavyweight boxing history. And looking back at that now, and where Tyson Fury has gone afterwards, and his very poor performance against Francis Ngannou, has your respect grown or decreased for Tyson Fury after the trilogy?
My respect always was for Tyson Fury, because once again, I'm coming from not a sensationalism standpoint. My respect for him was coming from I shared the wing with him before. I've been in training camp with him before. I know boxing. I know people that really can fight and people that can't fight. I know people that's very detailed in the business and people that's fly by night in the business. So Tyson Fury, even if you look at the fights build up between him and Deontay, I never said he couldn't fight. I never said he was a hype job. I knew exactly who he was going up against, and the better man won in those times. But I wouldn't say because of those fights, my respect level for him went up. My respect level for him has always been what it was, that he's legitimate and one of the best heavyweights of all time, especially from this era.
Usyk Wilder, how do you see that unfolding? I'm sorry, Usyk Fury, how do you see that unfolding?
I'm very fickle with it, because sometimes I'm 50-50. A month later, I'm 70-30 Fury. Then when I seen Dubai is in Usyk, then I'm like 50-50 again. Like, I'm just very really in the middle with the fight. It's just no telling. If I was a betting man, I'm great. Switch it up again. If I was a betting man, I would bet on Usyk, just because Usyk got very, very good feet, and very, very good balance. And to me, he fights big men very well. I think his problem is with smaller guys. I think his problem is with guys that's agile, just as him. There's no telling. There's no telling. I'm 50-50 with the fight, but I believe Deontay knocks Usyk out cold in under 6 rounds or something like that.
I mean, we've seen what Deontay has done against southpaws like Luis Ortiz. Took his time, in the second fight. The first one was a little bit more back and forth, but it was definitely Deontay has proven that he could take on southpaws as well. Um, Speaking of which, other southpaw that you and I have seen in person at the Brick House Boxing Club in North Hollywood, where
Mhm.
you and Deontay have spent some time training as well too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw Gervonta Tank Davis a few months ago when he was preparing for Ryan Garcia. You've seen Gervonta up close. We have the heaviest hitter at heavyweight, and we have the heaviest hitter at the lighter weights. What is it like when you've seen Gervonta in person?
Uh, Very imposing, especially for his size. Um, Mike Tyson-like mentality, Melcher Taylor speed, Sugar Ray Leonard relentlessness, um, um, Marvin Hagler hunger. There's a lot of great attributes in Gervonta, like a whole lot. I could talk good about him all day, and not just because he's not my friend or he's not someone that I look like. I'm strictly talking about the craft. Um, the most thing that is underrated about him is his defense. He's very, very slippery when he wants to be. He go from a high guard to a cross guard to hip movement in a minimum of 10 seconds. That's very, very rare. Um, Usually fighters that go from guard to guard, they do it in segments of a fight or in segments of a round. Though he'll do it in the midst of 5 or 10 seconds just to make you miss a punch, then to make you pay or give you a target, then take it back. This is all the kind of good stuff that Gervonta does. And usually guys that have as slippery as defense as him, they don't punch as hard as him. So I would consider Gervonta the total package. At times it takes him time to catch up to guys, but the times that it take him to catch up to guys is because these guys are good opponents. So you're not going to go in there and just get a. You want to know what's crazy is because what's my guy name? What's the guy named Barrios?
Mario Barrios?
Mario Barrios. He's a very, very good fighter. He's long, he's linky. Um, and in my opinion, he gave Gervonta a much tougher fight than you could say Ryan Garcia did. But one would say some people would look at Ryan Garcia and think he's better than Barrios when technically in doing things the right way, packaged up wise, I think Barrios is maybe a little bit better, stylistically wise. And it took Gervonta longer to catch up with him than it did Ryan Garcia. It's because styles make fights. The way how he made Ryan Garcia miss and was able to make him pay, it took him about 4 more rounds to do that against Barrios because Barrios is long and the width is longer and his chin was kind of right there. But then at times Gervonta had to reach because he was missing a lot. So he has patience, as we've seen. He has speed, he has power, he has defense. As far as a fighter and being a warrior, he has incredible character. Um, we'll see it, but it's some big fights out there on the market for him as well. That I just hope these big fights, materialize for these little guys, man. But we'll see. But
Absolutely. I think the entire boxing public is really pounding the table for these fights. I think 2023 set an amazing blueprint for a lot of fights that were made. Obviously there's some transition with Showtime leaving boxing, but boxing also had its first 1 million plus pay-per-view since 2018, a lot of 20+ million-dollar gates. But going back to Tank, with the Devin Haneys, the Shakurs, the Lomachenkos, the Teofimos, do you think he beats all of them?
The toughest one, stylistically wise, is I would love the most, to me, pay-per-view one should be a barn burn is Tim and Telefimo. I think stylistically, like that just goes. And depending on what weight the fight is at, they just like dream matches. I think Shakur got the best defense out of all of them. Um, I would pick Gervonta over Haney. I'm not sure who I would pick between Haney and Shakur, especially at this point. Telefimo is just as explosive as any of them. Um, the division is loaded, especially as far as the top tier. But if it's anybody that is, it's hard to say who rules the division when these guys aren't as active too. I have a problem like really saying who rules the division when guys is fighting one time a year. I have a problem saying who's the face of boxing when guys. To me, a certain win don't make you the face of boxing. Just doesn't. That's just to me. Like activity and constantly doing it over and over and over again is what makes you the face of boxing. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I just want these fights to materialize. And I'm a fan of the craft. Like, you know what I mean? I always got my notepad out, so I'm always ready to see these guys fight each other. What I don't want to see is these guys fighting C minus and D plus opponents. I'm not interested in that at all. Um, I just want them to fight each other. I want them to fight each other.
Absolutely. You talk about the face of boxing. Canelo Alvarez likes to call himself the face of boxing. Do you think he'll ruin his legacy a bit? Not ruin, but tarnish it a bit if he doesn't take on this challenge with David Benavidez? And how do you
Oh
see
no,
that fight unfolding?
I don't think it'll tarnish his legacy a bit at all. Canelo is who he is. We all want to see him fight Benavidez, though. I would pick Benavidez to win the fight. What I don't want is for when they do fight that they, strip Benavidez of his health and make him go into a weight where they know it's going to be more beneficial for them and not him. I will pick Benavidez to win a fight. Benavidez, believe it or not, reminds me of like not sequence combination wise and not speed wise, but mentality wise, imposing wise, hand control, head control wise. He reminds me tons of George Foreman. He doesn't step to guys with his lead foot. After about 2 rounds, he start literally walking to them the way how you would walk to the faucet to get a drink of water. Or he literally walked to these guys. And usually plotters and stalkers that's coming to get you the way he do, they're usually slow and they usually lack defense. The real nightmare why he's the monster to me is because he walked to you and he's imposing, but he's not slow. So that means the offense is coming at you at a rapid speed, and then you're thinking you can hit him back because maybe his feet is out of position, or maybe because he's walking to you, but his head moving is so much on a swivel that not only is he ready to make you miss from a walk, he's ready to make you pay well 4, 5, 6 punch combination. So he's probably the most dangerous fighter. You take out Deontay, Benavidez is the most dangerous man on the planet, in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? The mentality wise, the punch output, the intent when these punches, the head control, his imposing will, his hard work. So I'm very impressed with him. I'm impressed with him more than I am any of those guys. And he's one of the fighters that I truly believe would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. If it comes
Yes.
to a money thing, I believe that Benavidez would take less money for bigger fights just to prove he the best. And that's very, very rare. Very, very rare in this day and time. He's not concerned with, I wouldn't say he's not concerned with money because I don't want to make it seem like the health and the financial gain for him and his family is not important to him. It very much is. Well, he just come across to me like a real old school throwback Marvin Hagler type of fighter that he really wants to put it all on the line against anybody in the world anytime. If you think you're the best, this is somebody that want to try you. And that's rare. He's not hiding behind the business. He's not hiding behind Al Heyman. He's not hiding behind Bob Arum. Like, he's not hiding behind his promoter, whoever the manager, whatever it is it may be. He's not hiding behind the business. He wants to fight the best, and he wants to continue to win. And I think even if they put the so-called best up against him, I believe he will continue to win.
He's definitely a tour de force. I think he's on the short list for fighter of the year in 2023.
Absolutely.
Impressive wins against Caleb Plant and a one-sided destruction against Demetrius Andre. Malik, I want you to focus on that cigar right now. So I'm going to leave you with this. What is your closing message for the Deontay Wilder Joseph Parker fight, and what would you like to let everyone know?
I would like to let everyone know Joseph Parker is an incredible human being, one of the best heavyweights in the world. His resume speaks for itself. He's an active fighter. Like I said, he's a very he has a lot of courage. He has speed. He has all the attributes that it takes to beat anybody in the world. But coming December the 23rd, he's going against one of the best boxing minds in combat sports, including concerning myself as far as the head coach for Deontay. He's going against the most dynamic fighter in the history of the sport concerning Deontay Wilder. And he's going against the hardest puncher in the history of the sport, who is Deontay Wilder. And depending on how he approach it depending on when he will go, how long it will take him to go. But either way, Joseph Parker is getting knocked out on December the 23rd. And yeah, that's what I have to say.